Okay, so iOS 26 RC has been out for a few days now, and as usual, I want to go ahead and give you guys my quick takeaways on performance, battery life, changes, and what's to come. Now, let's start right with what some of these changes were in this build, and that is that they now have new customization options if you go to customize the look of your device and you go into the tinted option. As you can see right down below here, there are these two new icons. And with this, now Apple is allowing you, with the first one, to match the color of your iPhone. So as you can see, we have the Desert Titanium, so it made everything a little of a sandy look color. And then the second option here is the ability to match it to your case. So if you have an Apple case or any other case, you can actually kind of manually tweak exactly what everything looks like. However, you can see some of the glitches still in place in this RC with these changes. Kind of all the folders lost their icons right here in certain apps itself. And then also, aside from this, let me actually go ahead and cancel this change. Actually, that's the first time I've seen it so messy. Look at this glitch here, guys. I haven't seen one like this in a while. It just now cleared off. I'm going to go ahead and move this back to just auto. And I don't want this. Let's go to light. Okay, I'll just leave it for now. So aside from this, we had some major changes in the Health app. So if you jump into the Health app now, one of the big things that a lot of people have been asking about for a while is a sleep score. And if you scroll down and use an Apple Watch, you now have an option to find a sleep score, which for some reason wasn't showing up directly right there. For me, I have to customize it, but if you jump into it, you can see exactly where your sleep currently measures. It does break it down for duration, bedtime and interruptions, your vitals, your sleep time and amount. There is a ton of useful data here. I am a huge fan. If you jump into your sleep score directly, you can see exactly what it's measuring, what's about it, and all of that. And then also, hypertension will be available coming with the latest Apple Watches as well. And then also in the Fitness app, Apple made another new change, and there should be a new splash screen to show you also. So you can see what's new fitness, workouts on iPhone, music and media, Fitness Plus ready-made plans, and then a second option now at the bottom has been added for starting workouts directly from your Apple Watch. And when you click on this, you can see you now have another splash screen that says set up and mirror your workouts, Workout Buddy, music and media. And when you continue, you can see all of those workouts that have always been present on your Apple Watch. Also, if you click up top here, you can now see what connected devices you have, because now not only will Apple Watches pull in data, but you will also be able to see all this with the AirPods Pro 3 that are coming. We'll do a whole further in-depth review about that, but I just wanted to let you know this is all here as well. And then also, aside from that, let's quickly jump into the Apple Watch app and talk about the new watch faces that did come down to other variants. So obviously we have the Apple Watch Ultra 2 here. You can see us using Flow right now and just kind of how that liquid subtly moves around. That is the Flow watch face that you do have a couple of preset options for. The first one is the waypoint option, and I'll show you that on the watch in a second, and then exactograph. I do think exactograph in some of these, specifically this one, does look pretty cool. So let me go ahead and swipe through and show you the next one. And here is waypoint, and as you can see, it does adjust that compass depending on where you're located. And you can add actually waypoints if you edit this on your watch, so it can direct you to the proper direction to head for that specific waypoint. And then also here is that exactograph one that we were just talking about. I think this looks really cool. And even when you lock the watch, it changes. And then there's a really cool animation. When you lift it up, it kind of explodes out so you can see it moving again. I thought those were pretty cool. Again, there is another Hermes watch face, but that's unique to that model. And we don't have that currently, and why it's also not showing here. But I do think some of these new watch faces are pretty neat. Again, kind of meh for a lot of people, but Flow does look very nice nonetheless. And then jumping into performance, let's go into Geekbench. If you follow the channel, you saw our other video on our initial release and how low the benchmark testing was. we ran a 2666 only on September 9th, and then today on the 11th, we are now back up to 3402. But what's really strange is the multi-core score here is still only 7931. We haven't been that low in a while. The last one on the last beta, on beta 9, was 8400, and then 83 before that. There was an error on this run too, but 82, 8100. This is our lowest full multi-core score I've seen. Kind of interesting, and again, numbers here really don't mean anything. Everything still works and flows very well. Let's go into stocks. You would not notice any of these issues on a day-to-day basis. Everything's fine. You can see just how quick everything loads and all of that. And then obviously everyone wants to know about battery life. Battery life for me has been somewhat inconsistent. I don't know why it's still causing this. I am a little lower on battery health. At this point, I am down to 94% with 381 cycles. So obviously that is impacting this somewhat, but still it is decently done and probably has the best battery life in any of the betas so far for iOS 26 nonetheless. And then also, I do want to jump into one other thing here, and that is going to be under General and iPhone storage. This will probably be the last video we talk about this for on our iPhone 16 Pro Max, but you can see it has come down just a little bit, but our system data is still using 36.49 gigabytes of storage. That is insane. I need you guys to comment down below now and let us know again, how large is your system data on the RC here? And then aside from that, it's been a pleasure to use. I really have to say, it's not perfect by any means. I've still seen plenty of issues where it just doesn't look tweaked and really fine-tuned yet. But also, I think there might possibly be another RC coming, and if it's not an RC, it will be the public release, tweaking a couple of things next Monday, specifically because you can see, especially if you go into display and brightness, it's still using iOS 18 wallpapers here. These little glyphs and things have not been updated yet for iOS 26, and that just seems like a quick oversight by Apple. This should be back on track here in a few days. So, now having said that, what to expect next, let's go ahead and jump into our calendar view here and talk about it. Today is obviously the 11th. Tomorrow are Apple pre-orders for all the iPhones that are coming out for the 17 series. Obviously, they made the Apple Watch and AirPods Pro 3s available already back on Tuesday. I would anticipate if Apple decides to drop another RC, it would be most likely today or tomorrow, but more likely, in my opinion, we won't see another RC until the 15th when it goes public, and it will carry then a new build number. So aside from that, Monday around 1-ish, we should get the RC, and then Friday we will get the release of the new iPhones where you can walk into the store, pick up your pre-orders, or expect delivery. But aside from that, that's really it. We made it through iOS 26 betas. Possibly next week as well, we might even see iOS 26.1 beta 1. Like I said, let me know in the comments down below, how's the RC treating you now? How large of iPhone storage is it eating up for system data? And let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.